The Dark Side, 2008, by journalist Jane Mayer, is a historical analysis of the United States' War on Terror. Drawing from her extensive coverage of the War on Terror for The New Yorker, Mayer critiques the campaign as a propaganda-driven exploitation of public fear following the September 11, 2001 attacks on New York City and the Pentagon. Through a combination of primary and secondary sources, including instances of public disinformation and human rights abuses at Guantanamo Bay, Mayer illustrates how the Bush administration exploited xenophobia and militant nationalism for political gain. She argues that the administration sought to expand the executive branch's powers to unprecedented levels. The book has been both lauded and heavily criticized, with its facts corroborated in subsequent years, sparking further research into U.S. government misconduct after the attacks. Mayer begins by focusing on the weekend following 9/11, when the Bush administration began formulating its initial response. Vice President Dick Cheney appeared on Meet the Press, openly discussing the U.S. plan to employ the dark side of its geopolitical strategies in retaliation against al-Qaeda. In the years that followed, the U.S. adopted a systematic state torture program involving waterboarding, sexual violence, sleep deprivation, and other physical and psychological techniques. The program was presented as an essential part of the fight to extract intelligence on terrorist activity. Mayer observes that the lengths the U.S. went to in concealing and denying these methods were in direct contrast to Cheney's open declaration about using any means necessary. She then shifts to examining how leaders managed the war on terror, noting that while George W. Bush lacked foreign policy experience, Cheney was a seasoned strategist with a long-standing agenda. Cheney, frustrated by what he saw as the weakening of executive power since the Watergate scandal, aimed to reclaim authority over international relations, particularly in comparison to the judiciary and legislative branches. Mayer also highlights David Addington's role in promoting the war on terror. David Addington, Cheney's chief legal counsel and a veteran of the Reagan administration, was an expert in weakening targeted legislation. Together with Cheney, he became one of the White House's most influential figures in the war on terror. Much of the campaign's power, however, was institutional. Mayer identifies the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, as a key supporter, advocating for the execution of suspected terrorists without due process and pushing for the ability to conduct domestic espionage, despite laws prohibiting it. Mayer contends that the war on terror lacked a single mastermind. Instead, its implementation was spread across various government institutions. She draws parallels to past instances in American history where civil liberties were threatened, such as the Japanese internment camps under Roosevelt and Lincoln's suspension of habeas corpus. What was distinct about the Bush administration, Mayer argues, was its unprecedented assertion that the president held ultimate decision-making authority over any aspect of government. Key figures in this effort included John Yoo from the Office of Legal Counsel, National Security Advisor Condoleezza Rice, and Secretary of State Colin Powell. While Yoo played a crucial role in legitimizing the executive branch's expansion of power, Rice and Powell, though more neutral or resistant, were largely sidelined. Mayer highlights the fact that Cheney, Addington, and Yoo had minimal counterterrorism experience, which suggests ulterior motives and a willingness to disregard human rights norms. While many in the Bush administration have rejected Mayer's allegations, labeling the dark side as a partisan work, it remains a powerful and well-researched critique of the war on terror. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.